Hi again, everyone. Now, you might remember that the last episode we did ended with a small mishap, or a few minor damages to the house. So after that, I had to spend a few hours putting some things back together. Needed to glue a few things together, staple some things in place, put a few nails back in, hammer them in. But the house is all good now. In fact, I took the time to do a few renovations, and the house is looking better than ever. In fact, I'll try and find a photo. There it is. And now that that's all done, we can get on with the rest of the episode. Today we're going to be covering vinyl records. And these were what you would use if you wanted to listen to music at home before iTunes or CDs came along. Got a couple of famous album covers for you to look at. Got The Greatest Hits of Queen, Back in Black from AC/DC, and we've got Wish You Were Here and Dark Side of the Moon from Pink Floyd. A very famous album cover here, featuring a guy who, despite the fact that he's on fire, seems pretty okay with it. Most versions of this album cover have the guy that's on fire sort of falling over to the left, but this is a slightly different version where he's leaning back instead. I forgot to explain one of the records before, the one in the top middle. This is a record from The Who, and out of all the albums I've shown you, this one's my favourite, for reasons I'm sure you can figure out for yourself. I'll give you a closer look at one of the actual records here. Here's Dark Side of the Moon. All these little rings around the record are different parts of the songs. With these things, you couldn't just skip ahead to the next song by pushing a button. You actually had to sort of remember roughly where the song you wanted was on the record, what ring it was, and then put the needle on it. We'll show you what the needle is a bit later. One of the cool things about these old records is they would often come with booklets like this that contained the lyrics to all the songs along with artwork related to them. This is from Tommy. Here's some artwork they did based off of the songs. Quite a strange one, this one. There's the pinball machine. There's some of the lyrics to the songs. One of the interesting things about vinyl music records is that, unlike a lot of things that we'll be talking about in this show, you don't actually have to go to an antique store or an op shop to buy these things because they are still being made today. Even though they are obsolete, a lot of people still prefer them. Some people think they look nicer, some people feel that they sound better when you play them. There's a few different reasons. But these are still very easy to get today. If you were to go into a music shop like Sanity or JB Hi-Fi, you would be able to buy pretty much all of these records. And here we have a jukebox, and these are actually coin-operated record players. You would put some money in, pick which song you wanted, and it would play them. You would find jukeboxes in places like gaming arcades, restaurants, and bars, and they are still quite common to find today, but most of the ones that you'll see now are all digital. The music is all stored on a computer, but with these old ones, there actually is hundreds of records inside them, and there's a little machine that will grab them and put them on the player when you turn it on. I'd show you a video of the record player in action, but it's unfortunately broken right now, and they're quite difficult to fix. I'll give you a bit of a closer look at the record player. All those white labels you can see across the top are the stickers that tell you what songs are available. These are the buttons that you use to pick which song you want, and there's the coin slot. So now we'll give you a bit of a demonstration of a record actually being played. We've got our record player here. Some of the controls. This you use to switch between what type of record you're using. Records come in a few different sizes. If you're playing one of the smaller ones, switch it to that. Here's the needle. Maybe the other side to the flute. This is what reads the record. And use this to change the speed. There's start and stop. So we're going to be using another Pink Floyd record for this. Here we've got The Delicate Sound of Thunder. Another interesting album cover here. We've got a man with some very interesting fashion tastes. Another man here who's very popular with the birds. Here's our records. Here's the one we'll be using. They also released small records like this called singles, which just had one song on them. Here we go. This is actually a live concert record. One of the fun things about record players is that with most of them you can actually control the speed at which they play, and you can get some very interesting results. So we've got a very well-known Australian song here. I'm sure quite a few of you have heard this. We're going to see what it sounds like if we play it too slowly.